Welcome to Adults Only Comedy Berlin. Today we have Daniel Gutierrez. Ooh. You promised me that you would do your raspy, deep radio voice.
This is the sound of my voice. This is not really a sound of. This is the sound of my voice, but this is the sound of the voice that I want to convey right now.
Oh my God.
I feel like if I want to do a raspier, thicker, more bassy.
More bassy. I think I can get real. I don't know why I need to go southern on it though. I think I can get real.
But this got racial very quickly at it.
Bassy.
No, I'm just talking strictly frequency here.
Yeah. Okay. I don't think I can. What they say that when women are trying to flirt, they make their voice lower.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Do you ever find yourself doing that?
Like hitting the baritone.
Yeah, like if you're, but also I guess it's a different thing. It depends where you're flirting. Because like if you're doing it at a bar, a lot of times you can't because there's other people there, so you have to be louder.
Yeah, well,
you can't.
My voice is very bassy anyway.
Yeah, true.
Maybe that's why people think I'm a slut. Just because
Yeah, that's why.
I'm just deep talking all the time.
That's definitely why.
You're like that slutty whore. Just always talking with my boyfriend, and then
you're always like, it's just
you.
you guys don't. It's my voice. That's probably what happened. Yeah,
It's my eyes. It's my voice. It's got nothing to do with what I do in the weekends. Again, weird accents. I don't know. I just want to keep talking real low. I don't know. Like that's even strange. Bars. Oh my God, I miss bars. I miss touching strangers.
I mean, I guess you still could, but it's very frowned upon.
It is frowned upon.
I miss bars for sure because I haven't been drinking that much through lockdown. I feel like people have this idea of the lockdown, just like this is where you drink, but like I don't drink at home by myself. That's where I don't.
Yeah,
I drink everywhere else with people.
Yeah,
but not at home by myself. Like I generally don't drink. I've drank a few times in counter occasions here, and like it's really changed my lifestyle for the better.
Yeah,
I don't know how it's gonna be when we restart shows, but like
I'm
now,
really curious to see how it's gonna be because I remember between the last lockdowns, I feel like I'm talking really deep now. I feel
you're getting on your head with the whole.
I'm so in my head. It's all this caffeine. We're drinking very strong coffee, and it's really good.
That's great.
But yeah, I'm wondering how much, like I've been hearing that post this lockdown, it's going to be like after the last Spanish, the Spanish flu back in the 1900s.
Yeah.
Then there was the golden 20s and everyone was doing opiates and dancing in clubs and,
I fucking hope so. I think that's where we're going.
I really hope
like
so.
a big time where we're partying and doing stuff while also going through the worst economy of our lives.
Exactly. Like everyone's wearing loud colors and living these crazy lifestyles because you just don't know when the freedom's going to end again.
Yeah.
And I think that's really. Yeah, we're all just like
I always fear that kind of thing because it's just like people are it's like ramping up to be something or just like, oh my God, the amount of STDs are gonna run rampant.
Right,
just like
people are gonna start dying from syphilis again. Like
yeah. just like in the 20s.
Just like in the 20s.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I can't wait to get STDs again. No, protection. Always protection. I've been very good. And I don't think I'm going to I don't think I'm going to be drinking after the lockdown, except for special occasions again. And a special occasion is where all the stars align and it's like, I've got a day off the next day and there's really important people and it's like a drink is going to be. Yeah. But not just like a show
being
that was
able
successful.
to like hang out with people. Like sometimes I've been through the lockdown I've been drinking and sometimes you hang out with friends, so you go to dinner somewhere and you have a bottle or two of wine and you get fucked up because I have no tolerance anymore.
Yeah, right.
But
I can't wait to have 2 glasses of wine and be like, woo, take my phone away from me.
Oh, it's great.
After the 1st of January, within a week, I had done everything except for heroin, basically.
Yeah.
And
you should really. It's a time.
I know it's on the. No, I'm joking. Maybe one day.
It does feel great.
Yeah.
But
but I'd done all the drugs, and I realized that quite a few of them are extremely boring without alcohol, like coke and speed, and even like pills. I've
had this conversation with a few people like in the scene. I remember like the I find people who do coke without booze to be fucking psychos. Like I think it's just like I don't understand that decision because you're so hyper. Like you need the counter.
You need the counter, absolutely.
That's the beauty of it. Like coke is like is a thing that allows you to drink more and it just feels good, and then you kind of coming up and down, and that's like balance, like learning to master that balance while you have fun. It's the
was
beauty
my
of it.
20s, yeah. And I really I love, because it's you want when you're drinking alcohol, it's you're getting looser and crazier, but then there's a limit to how much alcohol you can have, so that's when coke comes in, or speed.
Sure.
And that way you can keep drinking, keep being silly, but you can you're not going to throw up, or you're not going to not be able to walk anymore.
Yeah, for sure.
And just doing coke by itself, or speed, it's just like, okay,
Speed
now I'm
speed
really
is even worse because at least coke makes me feel good, but speed is one of those. Speed just makes me awake.
I don't find coke
I'm
is
just
that euphoric.
honestly, whenever I take speed, it's just been like something happened to me that night that I'm just I just want to be out with people and drink because fuck it, man, And I do speed and they're just like, I'm awake, fuck, I'm awake, I get home
it's like now I have to stay awake. It's like someone giving you a bunch of coffee and then it's like, and that's it.
Yeah.
And that's it. And I don't enjoy that. I don't find coke euphoric enough. I think it's very similar to speed in that regard. Like I haven't had high quality Colombian or whatever coke for a long time.
You could just say Venezuelan, make me feel good about it.
I thought about it and then I was like, but then am I suggesting that your country's only valuable export is cocaine?
No, we got coffee too and a couple things.
All right.
Well, actually right now it's complicated, but whatever. Point is,
coke and speed are boring without alcohol.
Yes.
Like I think coke needs actually alcohol and cigarettes, and then it's the perfect. Like then
it's so good.
That's the holy trinity right there. Like that's
see even my like deep bassy voice just came out.
Oh right, like I am looking, and that's the thing. Like that's the problem. I've stopped smoking cigarettes, and I feel great, and I don't want to smoke anything ever again. But there is something in my mind that's like, the coke, alcohol, cigarette trinity. Like I want to have a night where I'm playing poker and there's loud music and I can go dance, and then I can make out with some strangers in a bathroom, and then I can drink some crazy expensive cocktails and someone pays them for me, and then I play some more poker, and then
I feel like everyone's getting a little more insight into your nights just now. But, yeah.
I don't play poker.
Yep, that's how Anna rolls. It's like, by the way, everything you said sounded like just such a COVID no. Like it's just like, what the fuck has she been doing all this stuff?
That's exactly it. Like I want to be around all these people, and there'll be people that I don't like, but I miss hating strangers for just existing next to me. Like
it's my favorite thing.
It's so much fun being able to look at someone, but then also seeing someone and being like, I'm going to push you up against that toilet cubicle wall and we are going to, or not, consensually.
This is, oh my God. Okay.
I am so looking forward to Wild Nights. It's crazy.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Whew. So Daniel Gutierrez, you used to write porn.
Correct.
Tell-
Yes, sure.
Sure. Okay. Flesh it out.
Well, flesh it out, I suppose. Yeah. I wrote for a porn company. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to any juicy shit from that experience?
I mean, I feel like people expect it to be juicier.
Yeah.
Than it is, but a lot of times you're not you're so desensitized to the porn thing, and I just I don't really watch porn for the most part.
Have you stopped watching porn, or
I stopped watching porn a lot. I watch more porn than I did when I was, off the clock, you know what I mean?
Off the clock, what do you mean?
When I was when I worked in porn, I just didn't watch porn for recreational purposes anymore, because it was just if it's your job, it's just kind of I don't want to see that shit. And then it's also there's people that you've interviewed or talked to and stuff, and you're I don't know, there's a weird vibe. You can't really sexualize this person. It's just a weird,
Yeah, totally.
So at some point you're kind of, and I went back old school, more imagination shit, and then
you went back old school, to masturbating to fantasies as opposed to watching porn.
And that means more to me. I feel also the older I get, the more I crave intimacy more than anything.
Right.
And it's become a thing where I'm just I kind of rationalize a lot of what I masturbate to, how would this happen, like when I'm gonna be like, okay, well, yeah, this person, but how did we end up there?
So you
it
like
just,
in your mind you want to
I
build the
present the whole
story.
story for myself. And it's just like, even if it's someone I know or someone that I don't know or like have no real connection to, but like if I were to meet that person, where would I, that kind of thing?
Yeah,
And
totally.
that's hot to me. Like, this is like a pre-fantasy that I'm thinking like a half hour before I masturbate to. Like, just like hanging out, smoking a joint and thinking like, oh, this thing is going to be interesting,
Totally, because
And
it's
then I
like,
just go in like a half hour later, it's just like, I already know this setting. Let's do this shit.
hold on. So you're saying that you baked up the pre-story, like the non-sexual foreplay of the
Yes.
of the interaction,
Absolutely.
of the relationship even.
Yeah.
You do that before you start masturbating.
Yeah.
Oh wow, I definitely do that.
I mean, it wasn't conscious, but I've noticed that I've done it.
wow.
Because sometimes I also like, I don't know. Well, I don't know if this happened to you. Because like the not drinking is a big element of this. I think it's like if I'm drinking every day or most days, if I'm just doing comedy regularly, I'm drinking most days. And
Used to be the
also-
case for me, yeah.
And also, you meet people. You're like, there's that point, where you're like hanging out and you meet more people. So like, I'm more prone to having sex, I guess.
Yeah.
And meeting, and
when
just
you're
having-
drinking or when you're
just
what?
when I'm drinking, partly because you're out and you're being social, but I think partly also because you're like, you get a little bit hornier, you get a little more like, I could do this.
You get more like, I don't give a shit about the fallout here.
Yes, and because
And you get a bit like,
if
I don't care
drink-
if I end up with this
if I don't-
person and
Yes.
it's inconvenient. Like, I just want to fuck. Like you
Yeah,
sort of you
you're a
rationalize
little-
differently.
You're more forgiving with the idea of the night or how you're gonna waste it or not waste it.
Totally. You don't have that balance of like, you know what though, if I go home now, I'm gonna get a good night's sleep. I might have a shower. I'm gonna wake
or
up
like
fresh.
even like for instance, like the other day, like this girl like messaged me and like and I'll get Cupid, and I was just like, she like invited me over, and I was like, I mean, because it was like midnight, and I'm like, oh, but I'm in bed already. Like just like I don't want to fucking like. Then that would be an impulse that if I were out somewhere, if I'm just having my fourth beer somewhere, I'm just like, I'm going. Like that's not even
Absolutely,
a
it's not
question.
even a question. If someone's inviting you over to their house, if you like, for me as
Yeah,
a
yeah,
woman, like
exactly.
security-wise, there
Sure,
need to
sure.
have been some pre-meeting. But yeah, absolutely. But these days, it's
But
like
these days it's also like I don't really need this right now, like and I think about it more. So what I was gonna say is just like I even masturbate a lot less now. Like I don't even I think in the last week I jerked off once.
what?
It's just been like I've been so detached from like it's just trying to focus on the creative thing or like that Seinfeld episode where like George
They all
he hasn't had
hold,
sex.
They all
No, it's a
Oh, no,
different one.
Okay, not
Where like
masturbation one.
his George's girlfriend has mono, so he can't have sex for a while, so he kind of like doesn't think about sex. So like Jerry gives this example with a big lettuce and just like this like little tiny thing is just like your brain. This is the part of your brain focused on sex. It's just preoccupied with sex, It's just like so when he didn't, he became like a smarter guy, and he's just like solving Rubik's cubes and doing all this shit, reading books. And he was like, I got it. And I was like, and I feel like a little bit like that, like if I'm not super preoccupied with sex, I have this other thing, I have other interests in mind.
Yeah,
That's been really
totally.
nice.
I agree with that. I have that with like I've gone through moments where I haven't had any dating apps on my phone, and surprise, the 4.5 months last year that I didn't have sex, I had no dating apps on my phone and was sober. And so there's a direct relationship between me not drinking, as well as me not having dating apps, and therefore me not having sex with anybody.
Yeah.
And I did end up breaking that dry spell with someone that I already knew that had already always sort of let me know that they were available.
Yeah, sure.
And I was like, okay, but it was still not through a dating app, and it was still sober, and it was. But my point is around masturbating. I still am like once a day.
Okay.
Like,
No, that's perfectly normal.
Yeah.
That used to be me.
Yeah.
And lately, but I also like, I'm not concerned at all. Like I've been dreaming about having lower libido for years. I feel like maybe I get shit done now.
Maybe I'll finally.
Yeah.
Well, the thing is with my masturbation and with looking for men, like I've consistently look after my sex life, even if I'm single or like with no leads. for sex, right?
Yeah.
But with I love this idea of with the fantasizing about the scenario before the sex.
Yeah.
I'm not finding myself doing it during the day before I masturbate, but I will sort of take little notes of like things that excite me. So I got this new job. I was working at a kindergarten for 2 years. I'm now working at this co-working space, and there's all these men around, all these men. And,
When you say that,
oh my God.
I wish people could see your eyes right now. I'm terrified.
It's so exciting because at my kindergarten there were no men. There were the dads, and there were a couple of dads that I was like
Sure.
super into. But at this co-working space, it is like 80% men. All my colleagues are female, classic, but like 80% of the members that are there are men wearing like clean pants and like
That's a new standard.
yeah, that's it. That's it. And like
You don't ask for much, but if you get that clean pants is fine.
pants. You
He's got clean
me.
pants and a toothbrush. That's good. Fuck that guy.
And like, like they smell good.
Yeah.
They've combed their hair. They wash their face. Like I think most of these men moisturize. And I'm getting wet just thinking about it. And they do things, and I keep a little, like, I notice little interactions that I have that excite me, that are really small. Like the other day, this cute member knelt down, like he was standing in front of me, and there was a package on the floor for him, because I'm the receptionist, and we looked deep into each other's eyes, and he's like, "Oh, who's supposed to be picking this package up for us?" And I was like, "I think it's DHL." And he was like,
You said it like that?
Yeah.
That was so porny, but like 80s porn can like DHL.
I think it's DHL. He said, "I think it's UPS." And then he got down almost on his knees in front of me to read the label on the package. And I was like, and it got me so excited. And there's been other scenarios with this one particular member, actually, where he made me wait, for example. Like there's this like little power moments.
Ooh, okay.
that are super lame. Like nothing's really happening, but
No, I understand. I got it.
yeah, like he was like, "Hey, I forgot my pass to go upstairs," and I was like, "Okay, so I need to let you up the elevator." And he was like, "Yeah," and I was like, "Okay, let me just get my stuff ready." And then I got my stuff ready, and then he was like standing at the counter, and I walked around, and then he was just still standing at the counter when he knew I was behind him, waiting for him to walk to the elevator.
Yeah.
And he just kept doing what he was doing, and he knew that I was next to him. Like he made me wait, and I was like,
Do you think there are people who might listen to this podcast who have a crush on you and are thinking like, wait, make her wait? I just taking notes. They're just like, maybe I don't know.
I don't think
And does the idea of that excite you?
the idea that people are taking notes on how I don't know. Like I don't think that people are listening to this and like. I think if I don't know you and you're listening to all of this and you're taking notes, like
It's super creepy. I'm not saying it's
Yeah,
not. But I would also gamble and say that that's probably like at least half of your crowd. Like, you can't pick your crowds. I get it. It's whatever, So what? Like, I feel like if they're coming to the show and they're paying, I'm like, fine, man. But just be, I don't know. It doesn't really.
notes are get down on your knees in front of her, say UPS,
Yeah, like
make her wait.
that would be great because like if you see it without context, you'll see like some like creepy dudes that are just kind of like UPS. Like, what the fuck are you talking about? Just like a guy who just bends the knee and just says DHL and it's as basic as it can.
Oh, that sounds great. I like try it, guys. Try it. I'm open to everything right now.
Whatever, like it's you shoot or shoot.
I do have a fan that listens to this. And
You wanna name him, her, them?
No.
Okay.
He'll know.
But they know they are.
He'll know who he is. But basically,
Also, that could also be like 4 dudes right now are just like, oh, yes, I know. I
just
do
like
know.
joking
Like,
off.
yeah.
She knows it's me.
Yeah.
Sorry. I
Just so you know, if that is happening, I find it super weird, yet a little bit flattering that you're jerking off to my voice right now. Go for it.
Yeah. Gutierrez is looking very, very sharp at the moment.
Dude, I'm like,
I shouldn't say at the moment. That's so mean.
No, you are correct. I've lost weight. I look good. I feel good. I feel very good. So like I think it's fine. You know what's very strange in this like body positivity times that we live in is that. By the way, where was body positivity when you're getting bullied in high school? But like,
I know, right? Fuck,
like,
we missed
give
that
it to
wave.
me now that I look better. Fuck that.
Well, maybe
you know,
it's
like,
taken like all the bullying for you to for the world to get to the point where it's like body positivity.
I think it's all like this is a bit of it's a current pet peeve that I think that sometimes people see you and they notice you've lost some weight and you look, but they might mention that you look different, but they're very careful not to compliment you, just in case they're encouraging some type of eating disorder kind of thing. And I'm just like, why is she not complimenting? It's like a
Just
part of
say
me.
it.
It's just like,
Just
just
say
fucking
it.
say something. You can just say, you look good. You know?
I think Berlin is also a culture of not really complimenting easily. Like, it's not like America where there's all of this like forced supportive you go girl, oh you're looking great. It's like forced, what would you call it, flattering people all the time, like, oh my god, I love those jeans. It's like, you are lying, like these are very average. But I wanted to talk about this fan. He has come to my shows and has been very forward with me, but he's also respectful, and whether or not he's taking notes, he did. So did you see? I lost a bet. I finally trimmed my body hair after over a year. I stopped removing my body hair in the first lockdown.
Really?
Yeah.
For a whole year, no body hair removed.
Correcto.
Interesting. I guess I didn't see you through the summer. I guess
You did,
yeah,
but
I
I
did.
was kind of covering the,
Like problematic areas.
the problematic
When I
areas.
say that, I mean it with respect. I am.
It's all right. I've already fought this out with several, mainly Shahak Shapiro.
I generally don't care. Like, do whatever you want to your body. It's just like I'm also not massively turned off by body hair either.
Yeah.
But it's not a turn on. It's not like a thing. It's just like, I don't know. Like I think do you like women, right?
Not really. Like, I will have sex with them when they're there, but I don't pursue them.
Okay. Well, even if like, what do you find body hair attractive in women? How does
It
that?
can be. I think it can be. I think a woman with armpit hair, I'm more attracted to her than a woman without. Yes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Armpit hair. My thing is, I guess legs. Like I tend to not like leg hair and just like. But I mean, if you have it, you have it. That's great.
Yeah.
And it's not a deal breaker necessarily. I just don't like it as much.
I like women with
But it's your
body
body.
hair.
Do whatever you want.
Yeah, I see a woman with body hair as a woman who accepts all of her body and isn't like kind of conforming to.
Yeah, but at
beauty
the same
standards.
time, like it's each person's choice. If like I feel like a person who's like shaving all their hair, it's also not accepting their body and not like it's a preference.
It's a bit more than a preference, and I've argued this with people, but I think women removing their armpit hair and leg hair, it's not just a matter of preference, it's social pressure, because men aren't removing their armpit hair or their leg hair, and they're not getting
some are.
judged. Some are, but they're not getting judged if they don't, whereas women do get judged, and
This is true.
there is a general preference or expectation that women don't have armpit hair or leg hair. But I liked my body hair, but I did find that who the fuck would be at my door right now?
I don't know.
No one, and they're not coming in, goddammit. And they better not ring the doorbell again because it's ruining my recording.
I think you just heard your body hair conversation. It was like, go on, guys, it's time.
Go on.
Like
Let's break this up.
Yeah. Could be
I summoned DHL.
it could be that. It could be that. This is so like very well orchestrated porn scenario for you.
Right.
Yeah.
No, but anyway, so I did find that having my body hair, I didn't have so much success with the men that I did hook up with. Now, there was one that, like, it was fine, and I could have continued seeing him sexually, I'm sure, but I wasn't really interested. And then there were 3 other men who ended things very shortly after we had sex. And I think it was them not being comfortable with my body hair.
Yeah, sure.
Which is very disappointing, but at the same time...
That's also, I don't get that, because it's not a deal breaker. It's just like, you have preference. Just like anyone can have preferences about, like, maybe you like long-haired guys, but you'll fuck a guy with short hair.
And I do.
You know?
And I do. And, like, to be fair, none of them said, I don't like your body hair.
It would be really weird to brought up like that.
It would be, but to be fair, it could have been my personality. I prefer to think it was my body hair.
This is like, maybe that's a good idea. Just like keep it long, just in case you can always blame it. You can always, nah, it was that. It was my personality again. Like all those other times. It's probably the hair.
I'd never been rejected after having sex with someone before. Like, I know that sounds really... Oh, I'd been rejected once by someone.
Rejected how? How was that? What was the context of this? Like, you had sex, and after he came, he was like, I actually don't really like you that much. What happened?
Not that dissimilar. It was like a few days later going, hey, and like they're having been pretty good, like legitimately good chemistry,
right.
and yeah, and like the sexual vibe, like there was energy there, and then within a couple of days after that, them saying, look, I just feel like there's a friend vibe here. I really want to be your friend. Yeah. And no more sex. Sure. They didn't say and no more sex, but like I was
I mean, I'll take a blowjob, but like, let's be friends.
Yeah, I was like, can I blow you? Can I at least blow you? I just need your penis in my mouth to fill the void, please. Yeah. Like, I need a cock.
Yeah, sure.
Cock is such an aggressive word.
Cock is aggressive, but I don't know. It's the timing is right for cock sometimes.
Sometimes it is right. It's one of the ones that's like, I used to struggle saying pussy in relation to me, but I'm now comfortable with that. But cock is just like, I think it connects to my memory of my mum referring to penis. My mum sometimes pulls out the cock word, and it's like, ooh, that's so.
How does what context does she uses it with? Like in relation, just talking about her, like her boyfriend or her husband or whatever. I don't know what your mom's situation is. I don't want to assume things. But did she just go like, oh, his cock was so huge kind of thing? Or was it like a... It's
more like she would refer to like a sex scene and be like, oh my God, his cock was so big. And it's like, oh my God.
Wow. That's a lot of like, yeah, that's true.
Cock. Like, you really sexualized that.
Yeah, true.
And I think because my mum used to throw around the cock word, I'm a little bit uncomfortable using it. Okay.
But it's like it's good that you're reaching back. You're claiming the word back.
I am.
You're empowering yourself with cock.
I'm trying. It came out then, and I let it roll. But it's still like I clenched up at the end there.
Yeah.
But
just like with real cock.
I try to clench. But back to this fan. So the reason why I bring up all of this body hair stuff was it got to this point where I'd been sexually rejected like 3 times. I say 3 times. It might have only been twice, but 3's, I like the number 3.
Sure.
And then I got really depressed. Like, I had a breakdown. So after the first rejection, I had a big breakdown. And then like a month later, to try and get over that last breakdown, I saw this other guy, and same thing happened. Yeah. Another little breakdown. And so I was like, you know what? I'm going to put it on my dating profile that I have hair. And that way, sure. And like, and then then I started having all these like hardcore conversations with people, or just like nothing matching or working. And so then I was like, you know what? Fuck this. These people that I'm going out on dates with, I don't need them to reject me for my body. Yeah. I can reject them once we've had sex because they're not good enough for me.
Sure.
I want to be the judge of I want to be the decider here, as I have been historically. So I'm going to remove my body hair, and I will deal with it once I'm in a committed relationship the way I want to deal with it down the track. But
Sure.
for one night stands or whatever, I don't want to feel judged about my body.
Sure.
Yeah. So because I then trimmed my body hair, I had a bet with Kate Checker, and if I trimmed it, then I had to glue my pubes to my face as a mustache,
Right.
and put it on social media.
Yeah.
And this fan, he wrote me. I got a bit of hate for this post. I lost several followers. And I had some people being like, "Oh my God, like I prefer to see that hair on your pussy than on your mouth," and I was like, "Same."
That's so weird. Okay.
Or some people being
Do
like,
they know you? Was it like a
"These
just
are
like...
people that really know me."
Oh, okay.
I had some people say like I called my alter mustached ego Barry. I had some people say like, "Oh my God, Barry is so fucking ugly. Like Anna is so much more attractive." Or "What the fuck, Anna? What's wrong with you?" Or but this one fan said, "Oh my God, I want to make love to you while you're wearing that mustache."
Okay.
And I was like, "That is very forward." He was like, "Well, you've got the podcast about sex," and I'm like, "Sexual advances are different."
Yeah, does it? Yeah, I agree.
But this fan may be taking notes.
Yeah, like in general, don't approach. I was gonna say women, but in general, don't approach people like that. It's weird.
Yeah, be like, "I want to make love to you."
Also, who says make love?
I think it's sweet.
Right context, I feel like make love also sounds very... I feel like there should be some kind of intimate connection in some way.
Right.
Than just like for a stranger to say, or for anybody that I haven't fucked before to say make love to me. It's just like, it would be like, oh, okay, let's
Back up.
Yeah, it feels like a lot. It feels like a little too, like, also like it sets this precedent into like what we're gonna do, and just Jesus Christ, I don't want to.
Yeah, right. It's like, I don't know, like
Just hang out,
yeah. Although he has asked to hang out, and we're not.
Yeah, he's just asking for a little more now. Not asking, he's telling you what he would like to do.
Yeah, and I knew
In
that
a
already.
very, very forward way.
But in through all of that, I did see that someone appreciates me despite my pube mustache,
Or then maybe because of it.
or because of it. Yeah,
Maybe they weren't that into you in the beginning. It's like, I just see her as a friend, but then I saw the pube mustache and no. Let's do this.
Did you see it, by the way?
No, I haven't.
Can I show you?
You can.
Is
Is it like how full is that? We're talking like a Freddie Mercury kind of thing, or is it like
I went full handlebars.
So did you take like all of it? Like, so it was just the pubes, or did you?
It was just the pubes, actually. I like my armpit hairs and my leg hairs. I didn't keep, but my pubes were. My pubes grow. I found out my pubes grow straight.
Really?
I have.
So like it's like that happens in some Asian people. Have you like... No, it's true. It's just like when you're like, oh God, like when some... I find it fascinating. It's just kind of like you really want to play with it without making it weird.
Yeah.
Like I've hooked up with like a couple of people with like very straight long pubes.
Yeah, that's exactly what I have.
And like it's, I find it fascinating, but I want to make a big deal about it.
You should totally like. Well, I find it fascinating, like
because I feel like also I think because it's happened specifically with Asians, like I don't wanna make it like a racial thing. Yeah, I don't wanna like, ooh, it's like, because I hate it when that happens to me. When someone tells me something, like, oh, you have a very Latino this thing or that. I'm like, okay, yeah. Yeah, so like I don't want to be that guy.
Fair enough.
But I do find it. I love. By the way, I love bush in general.
You love bush, okay? So like leg hairs you're not into, but bush you're into.
Yeah. I also don't like. I don't mind like shit. Like a fully shaved pubes are all like, they're more practical, I'd say.
Yeah, I agree. Like once I trimmed them back and I was down to like a 1, I was like, oh my God, it's so much easier to access. Like I don't need to spend any time. Like it's just straight in there. Whereas
and there's
with the
also
bush,
like I have a lot less pubes in my mouth too. That's
there is that.
That is a convenience factor that people
can like
overlook.
hold them up, right?
You
like
can,
you
but
do
like,
hold them up,
dude. But I go all in. So like I don't I just like I have a healthy appetite. So I just like, I'm one of those people that just like, just goes in for like, when you have like when you're sucking on the clit. Is this too graphic?
No,
I'm sorry,
it's
you're looking at me very
perfect.
weird.
No, I'm excited.
You know when
This
you're
is
like
great.
sucking on the, you're just like full on sucking on the cliff. You're just like it's just about to climax, and all like her legs are just like pressing against your ears, and you can't move your head, but you're like there just sucking on the clit and whatever is around it, because your head can't fucking move. But you're like, fuck yeah, man. And you're in that moment. Dude, it's like, of course you're gonna swallow a few pubes here and there.
Yeah.
It's just
Totally
comes with the territory.
It does. And like, if you're really in there, like, it's also, they're just going to be like on your face. Like, they're just going to be tickling your cheeks, and they're there. Like, you can hold them away, but they're very much there.
For sure.
Yeah. So my pubes had a little bit of a wave, but they were very long and mostly straight. And so I ended up like referring to my pussy as the long-haired rat during this period. Okay. Which I think probably
it's not the most appealing image. Like, maybe you shouldn't start your Tinder bio with that. But like, it's
are you ready to meet the long-haired rat?
I think the world has seen it, I guess, or some of it. I haven't.
You haven't seen it,
okay.
No. But I'm gonna show you it on my TikTok. What I showed the world.
Okay.
Let's turn up the volume.
So much expectation through this.
I know. All right, so let's give it to you here.
Oh shit. Okay, dude, that actually looks. Your coverage is really good. Like, I have to say, as a dude who's like 39 and can't grow a full beard, I'm very jealous of this. Like, it looks really. I don't know. It's like those connectors. Like, I don't have those. It's very frustrating.
Thank you. It's a lot of hair, isn't it?
It's a lot of hair.
It's a lot of hair.
Yeah.
It's
It looks a lot better than I thought, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you like it. You like it. Some people were really offended by it.
I mean, it's not really like my thing. But I get it.
This is my favorite.
That's a really good picture.
Isn't it a great photo?
That's a great picture.
The meat barrier, and you can see how long it is. I let it go down. Like, I made the handlebars so that they hung off my face.
Yeah.
To demonstrate just how
straight it is.
Straight my pubes were.
That's very nice. That's really nice. Yeah. Like, that is the biggest problem to having pubes as facial hair. It's always gonna look curlier than you want to, but like, you don't have that problem.
Did not have that problem.
You and your Asian genes, whatever, man.
And what's funny is you've got a joke that it looks like people think that you look Asian.
Yeah, well, that's not the joke, but yeah, it's part of it.
That's not the joke.
Sure. Yeah. I talk about having kind of Asian looking eyes a little bit. Because, my grandpa's Peruvian, and I have very, like, it just, so yeah.
Peruvians have, like, indigenous Peruvian?
Yeah.
So there's that.
So I get the eyes from that side of the family.
Yeah, you've got, I don't know how do you describe them then? Like, almond eyes? Is that the term?
Like, is this the color of what you're saying?
No, as in like the shape of the nut.
I don't know. I don't know what I would describe them like.
Okay. I think almond is like the attractive, not attractive, but like the artistic term for like sort of narrower, longer shaped eyes as opposed to round.
All right.
Like
maybe
circular.
we could come up with something. If you're listening to this podcast and have a better suggestion for my eyes, let me know in the comments. I don't even know if this has comments.
There are comments, actually.
Okay, great. Well,
no one leaves them, really.
I figured.
I've got a few comments, just not that many.
just like I want to make love to you with the mustache comment kind of comment.
So having seen my mustache, you can maybe it's more understandable
why they wanted to make love to you.
Yeah,
I think it's grosser now. I feel like the fact that they were like just like someone had a real bare like a fucking like hard on right there. It's just kind of like they really went for it.
Yeah, very forward.
Yeah.
Very forward. And then, I was quite surprised. It was actually someone that I've had sex with who was like, ugh, I'd prefer to see them on your vagina than on your face.
There's a bit of a nag.
It's a bit of a nag. Admittedly, we did have sex like the week after, so it worked.
All right. Fair enough. or at least it wasn't a deal breaker. It didn't discourage him enough.
Yeah, no.
Which is all you can ask for, I guess.
Yeah. There was a part of me that was a bit worried. Like, there was a bit like, it just happens to be that I have a podcast and that there's like a clubhouse room where I talk about these things, but I'm not advertising the trimming of my pubic hair to get more D.
No, it's not get more necessarily, but maybe filtering. I think I reckon everything is about filtering nowadays.
Tell me
Like,
more.
Well, I want to just like if I'm doing shows, like I tend to my sex life is a lot more active,
Right?
because it's just like, you hook up with people and stuff, and like I don't know.
You hook up with, and it's also because you're drinking.
Yes,
Gutierrez,
you're
drinking.
I'm drinking. I host several shows because also I feel like if you're hosting, you also meet more people because of it, and you have to
talk to them.
You have to be more charming than you would, because like maybe I'm a little hungover, but I'm gonna like I need to be personable and just like, and then you show like a different, like more friendlier, kind of like approachable.
Yeah, you're working.
Vibes.
You're working.
So people are gonna like talk to you and flirt with you and just like, so it's but in lockdown especially, like here's the thing, I don't wanna, even when it's not lockdown, I don't have that many off nights because I'm usually out drinking. So like if I have
Off nights.
like if I'm not doing comedy, if I'm not doing like
I wasn't
a show,
sure if off was referring to like no sex or no comedy.
No, it was a comedy thing. But thank you for asking. I think if I'm not doing comedy, I'm just like, I really want to stay home and Netflix the shit away out of the night, So to me, going out, like to meet someone for the first time, any online dating thing, I just filter so much more because I don't want to waste my night. It's like, I don't want to waste my night off on something that it's not gonna. And it's not really about like having a long-term relationship necessarily. It could be, but I want to have fun. I don't want my night to be boring.
It's about time well spent. Yeah. And that's the thing. That's what's been annoying me is like I'm me filtering my online dating. I am brutal. Like I'm ruthless. Like it's like
I think it's best to put on disclaimers and do this thing, and it's just like give them a lot of information, them giving you a lot of information, and just like it's not just necessarily about messaging back and forth forever, but like
you gotta get the vibe, man.
Yeah,
you gotta get
like,
the vibe.
I could hang out with this person. Like worst case scenario, I had an okay hang with someone that was, nice.
Exactly. I'm not
or fun.
Exactly. If there's a single line in the chat that doesn't feel good, like it doesn't feel good. Like that, it needs to feel good the whole time. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like it's over. Like I don't need to.
It's gonna come out. Like the worst things come out like right away anyway. So
exactly.
So yeah, that's what I mean about filtering. And even right now with the lot, because like there's a lot of now just like walking dates and just like hangouts, like coffee dates and shit, which is in a way it's great because like it takes off any kind of like not pressure, but like just like thing as the expectations of sex or whatever, you're just gonna hang out with someone, have coffee, it's gonna be nice, Yep. So like I want that more, I guess, than the because if you hook up with someone after a show and like you're both drunk and both attracted to each other, and it's just like it's such an immediate kind of chemical thing that happens there.
Yeah.
But if you're meeting someone from an online thing, like it's I don't know. Let's see how it goes.
I do, yeah. I like the ability to there's coffee and walk and how much it reduces the expectations. But I do miss being able to go to a bar, like after a show, for example, going to a different bar and meeting someone, and like you're in this sort of comfortable space. Like the only problem with this walking dates is that you're often uncomfortable. Yes. And it gets to a point where you're like, oh, my back's hurting. I need to sit down.
It's also cold. There's
and
this
it's
whole
freezing.
like, what's weird? Like I remember like the first date I went like what? Oh, okay. Water.
Water. What did you think I was grabbing?
I don't know. You were like, are you trying to? What the fuck? Anna, I'm just a guest in your podcast. It's not an invitation. Jesus Christ.
How weird must that have looked for you?
Boundaries, Anna. Boundaries. No, she just reached out like she wanted to fill me up, and I was just like, she wanted the water in my hands.
Yes.
I think maybe she just thought maybe she's a quick thinker.
I was just like, come on, just bring it over here. Let me have a feel.
Yeah, like just no. Jesus. Okay. Wait, what were we saying?
Walking date's getting cold. But
Yeah, but I remember the first time, like, it's because it was like if you're thinking of like, wait, because if I'm gonna make a move, if you feel like a physical, if you have physical attraction and it's mutual, there's that moment where it's just like, I don't know, like going for a kiss or something. It's also such a like a quicker thing because you're walking out in the cold. You're not, you can't. There's no bars. There's nothing to like,
I'm not very good at it because I'm sober, right? So
Yeah,
it's like
sure.
if I so for example, I'm having a guy's coming over tonight, which is exciting. We went for we had
Is
a
this
date.
a first date?
This is a second date. I don't invite people over for first dates.
I don't presume or judge.
I am just saying that. I'm
Okay.
not judging people who do that. As a woman, I need to have met you out before
Yeah,
I
for
invite
sure.
you to my house.
Yeah,
So
It does feel weird, even for me as a dude. Like if I'm less, I don't know, physically scared about a woman. Although I admittedly many women could kick my ass, but and I know this. Do I know
But-
this? But like no.
but also for her to feel comfortable, it's like inviting her to your
but also
place.
to me,
it's like,
just like it's also not like having someone at your place that you haven't met before just feels odd. It just feels a little bit like showing too much. Like it's a private thing. Like you're just meeting someone you've never shared. You don't know how their voice sounds, and all of a sudden like they're in your kitchen,
They're in your
drinking wine,
home.
kind of like
yeah, like that. Yeah, like they could burn the place down, or
They
they,
could.
like, why should they know where you live? Why should they see the internal workings of your existence? Like,
Yeah.
no.
Exactly. That's more like you make those decisions when you decide you want to fuck somebody, that you invite them over.
Yeah.
But then you already made that choice. That's a different.
Yeah, like inviting this guy over tonight, it's like, ugh, it is cold today. It is a top of 4 degrees today, and
Sure.
I think it reached 4 degrees for an hour this afternoon. So me inviting this guy over, it's a movie night, and I have realized that the thing that I miss the most about a relationship, or even just like a regular someone, is just being able to watch movies with them.
Oh, dude, right?
Oh my God, that is the only, like, I'm happy to go to bed alone. I love waking up alone.
Oh, it's
I
best, yeah.
love masturbating before I go to sleep. I am very happy I like cooking for people, but like, I've got housemates, so that works for that area
Yeah.
of my relationship vibe. But, and I've got people for other things. I've got my friends who I like to meet for whatever, other like sports or dancing in our houses. But watching movies,
Yep.
I don't like watching a movie with just a friend because you don't snuggle up. You can't play with their
I can
private
if it's
parts.
like a movie, but it has to be like a specific kind of thing, like a comedy we both enjoy.
Totally,
that we have
totally.
like a it's
And you
like
can
that.
you can be like back in the days would be like, yeah, let's get stoned and
Yeah.
watch like Pineapple Express. Yeah,
Totally.
like totally.
Absolutely.
Like that's
you have
that's
that.
so fun.
You have some snacks. It's
You
great.
have snacks on snacks.
Yeah.
Like I love that shit. But
Sure.
now that I don't really consume any drugs like that, it's a bit, it's not quite the same. So what I do miss though is like any movie with someone who you can touch, like you can feel their body and you can cuddle and you can laugh together, and it's just like that's the intimacy.
I love
think I
intimacy.
miss-
I'm such an intimacy guy. Like it's more of a and people don't see that about me. I'm so I know. It's just like it's disgusting how sensitive I am, and people still don't see it. It
so
was right there in
sad.
front of you.
It was. It's still there.
It's still there. It's just like I flaunt it. I flaunt it habitually. Dude,
but that's the
but
one
it's so
thing.
important to me, like that whole thing, because it's just like a good hang. I need that more than a lot of other things, and it's just like being able to. There's especially like, in some ways, having similar taste in like movies and TV is so important, and like it shouldn't be. It sounds like it would be kind of like superficial in a way,
It's not.
but it's just something that like the intimacy of those moments are like, oh, let's watch a season of this shit, and you're both in it, and you're both sharing this thing, and it's just like you watch 4 episodes of something and like order in, and it's just like you have like the greatest afternoon, and
For me, actually, I think
by the way,
music.
that says a lot about my work schedule. This is like, you do this on a Tuesday in the afternoon.
I didn't even blink. I know you too well.
So that's what I'm doing, man. Whatever.
But no, I think I don't think it's superficial. I think taste in entertainment and music falls into the same thing, because I've had partners who like certain music, and it's like, I'm sorry, like I like to listen to music when I listen to music all the time, except when I'm creating stuff, but I can't, like, I need to respect your taste in music, like, mostly.
Sure.
Or they need to be open to everything that I listen to.
Right. They'll at least not hate it or ask you to turn it off.
Exactly.
That's really where the bar is for me with music. I appreciate sharing a musical sense with someone, but I also it's not the most, like, I care a lot more about movies and TV because it's like a thing that is actively something we share. You know?
I agree with you. I agree. I sit down and I try to do this on my projector by myself, you know, like sit down and like I'll make myself a movie night, and I'll get some snacks and I'll make a tea and I'll put the projector on, and I just feel so sad. Like it feels like I enjoy it, but it's like I watched Scarface the other week. I'd never seen it, and I was enjoying it so much.
Really?
Oh my god, I fucking loved it.
First of all, you had never seen Scarface. First time you see Scarface is right now, 2021.
Correcto.
And you loved it?
I loved it.
Really?
I loved it.
I have an unpopular opinion. I hate that movie.
Why?
Because I think it's horrible. Honestly, it's too long. Pacino does the worst Latino I've ever seen in my life.
It's a bad Latino. I agree.
By the way, there's only one good Cuban accent. It was the one fucking Cuban guy in the whole movie, man.
Was that Manolo?
Like the friend of that
Manolo,
dude.
yeah.
And it's like everybody else is terrible. And look,
Al Pacino's accent is so bad. I agree.
On paper, this should be an amazing movie. This is like Pacino coming out of like excellent, like his like he couldn't miss kind of thing. 1980. It's a Brian De Palma movie, also coming in from like, major hits. You know, you have the whole cast. Technically, on paper, is good. The whole everything is like the music. Giorgio Moroder did the soundtrack. It was like everything should be great, and I hate that movie. I think it's too long. Too cheesy.
Okay.
I don't know. I've never liked it. And I've tried to rewatch it as a grown-up, as an adult, and I'm like, I still don't like it.
Okay, I understand. There are some movies that are always going to be tarnished by your first reaction to them, and you can't. Whereas I sort of resisted watching it for so long because it was such a classic, and I resist those things often. Okay. There's something beautifully tacky and 80s. It's not trying.
No, it's not tacky
to be,
like the other.
It's not trying to be timeless. Like there's something timeless and historical about The Godfather and Goodfellas, whereas Scarface is like it's in that time. Like and it's really like going hard on the sort of 80s. Like tacky, like too much money vibe, right. And the thing that I loved about it, the certain action scenes, just on the edge of your seat. Like, just I paused it and applauded after the first action scene where the guy's getting his arm sawed off and stuff. Yeah. Oh my god, that is such a well done scene. The music, the pacing, the shots, I found like yes. It's long, but I expect that from that year.
I still think you could cut an hour from that movie and it'd be so much better. But yeah.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So
like
anyway,
this turned into like a movies and TV type of conversation. Adults only. Yeah.
Yeah. Might edit that out.
Whatever. I actually spend a lot more time on this than in sex and drugs anymore. So like it makes sense.
Right.
Yeah.
But the intimacy, like that's really there. You know, there's not a lot of things that I really miss about having a relationship. But I realized, watching a movie with someone.
Yeah, for sure.
That's it. And also just like having someone that is worried about you. You know, like when you're having a mental breakdown, you can like it's that person that you absolutely call. Yeah, you know, it's not like, oh, I need to like, I'll call my mom or I'll call that best friend or I'll call this best friend or, you know, I'll see my housemate. It's like, that's the only person on your mind that you would speak to. And I miss that sort of the efficiency of having a partner where you're just like, that's the person I need to talk to right now.
Sure. I mean, okay. I don't know if those are the right reasons for it, but like
efficiency.
Yeah. It's like, you're really German lately.
Germinating.
It's just like
yeah, okay. It's not the efficiency. It's the feeling like I'm special to someone and that they're special to me. And,
right.
Yeah. And everyone's getting pregnant. Oh my God.
They are?
Yeah. And I'm not feeling bitter. It's amazing.
Like, do you want to have kids right now? Or something?
Not right now, no.
But you want them.
I want them, but I know I'm not in the place right now. I think I'm 3 years away.
3 years away from having it?
from wanting to be like, from being like, now's the time.
You are currently 34?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, it's a lot of time, you know?
It is a lot of time.
You can still have it. You can still have it at 40.
And apparently, I hope that my body allows me to have them in the next within the next 5 years.
Okay.
That would be nice. Not in the next 3 years. The next 3 years are going to be very busy.
I always find it weird when people just make like a careful structure, because like I get it if you are already in a committed relationship with someone who wants to have children with you, but like I don't know. I know so many women in their 30s who are not in a relationship, are not with anybody, and immediately like I have like a 2-year window to have like that puts like but. By the way, I've been told that on dates where I've just been like it's a first date with someone, and then you're like kind of bonding after this whole thing. It's just like you had sex for the second time, you're chilling, it's 4 a.m. and then they tell like, yeah, I have like a 2-year window to have a baby, and it's like, yeah, that's not creepy at all to mention right now in a first date.
I've done that. I've totally mentioned that. I think I can name his name. An ex-boyfriend of mine who is you call him your cousin? No, your nephew.
My nephew, yeah, of course. Yeah.
Because he's so young.
Yeah. How young? Well, like ask us in the comments. How young would you like him to be? No, he's fine.
He's like 24 now.
He's 25.
5 now, sorry.
Yeah.
Not that young, but when we hooked up, he was 23, and yeah, I was like, because there were feelings involved, I said very, very early on in the thing, probably within the first week, I was like, I am 32. Like, I want to have kids at some point. Is it a good idea for us to be in a relationship? Like, is this a waste of our time?
Yeah. Well, I think approaching a relationship with that mindset, it's not necessarily good for anybody.
I agree, and I've stopped doing that.
I think it's good to like, you know, say what you want and stuff, but like I also think that is not a first or second or third date conversation necessarily.
I agree with you. The thing is, at that point, I was in a very different space to where I am now. Where I am now,
is it better now?
It's different. Where I am now is I am gonna be so focused on career for the next 3 years, and like I'm committing to pushing as hard as I can in the next 3 years in career, and I will, like, if I do happen to get pregnant in the next 3 years, that's gonna be tough for me. That's not ideal at all, and I'm gonna be avoiding that. But back then I didn't feel as strongly about my career, and so it was like, I want to have a baby at some point, and so in the next couple of years.
Right.
Yeah. But right now I'm like, I think my outlook has changed because I really don't want to get pregnant in the next couple of years.
Sure.
Yeah. So now it's like, if I met someone now, if I meet someone who really wants to have kids, it's like, ooh.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, well, you gotta wait.
Yeah, you're gonna have to wait.
But also, it should be like, because if you just meet someone, I don't know, I don't think people should have a kid with someone they just met 2 months ago either. Because like co-parenting is very difficult. Like these are decisions that should take a little more time, you know?
I agree. I have this thing where I don't really trust anybody unless I've known them for a year. Like I don't actively distrust them or whatever, but it's right. I wouldn't.
Yeah, but especially for something like, I don't know, having a child with.
Exactly.
Bit of an important thing that you know that you guys get along and you can work together, that you can, because even if you weren't gonna stick together, you at least should know that you can parent together.
You're gonna be stuck together one way or another for forever.
Yeah.
Like for the life of this child. Like that's how it's gonna be.
Which hopefully is longer than yours anyway.
Hopefully. You know, like if the child dies, then like boop, freedom.
Yeah, that's how most parents feel about their child.
Do you want to be a dad?
To have it? What?
I went really high there. Do you want to be a dad?
Do I want to be? I heard. Do you want to be your dad? And I was just like, I don't know if I want to be called dad, but I do want to be her. So like, I'll take it. Just
I think
like,
that says
fine,
everything.
I'll be dad. Whatever. Fuck it. You know. It's just
you answered my actual question.
No, I don't want to be a dad. I think, you know what's interesting? I always felt that because I don't know, I'm Venezuelan, like at this traditional thing, like I always figured that I would have kids, even though I don't like kids, and I never really, it was not a fantasy of any kind, but I just figured that, well, at some point I probably will want kids or will have kids. And it wasn't until like my, I think, late 20s where like some of my friends started having kids, and I noticed their lives change, and they didn't like the changes that I saw. It's like, oh, I do not have to do this if I don't want to, you know?
Yeah, right.
So I don't want children. I feel like it's not an impossibility. I could have. I think the only way I would have kids, it would be like if someone that I'm like madly in love with wants children, and I feel like in a better place for it. And I could see that happening, but I don't think it's likely. I don't think I will have children.
Okay. That's a very clear answer. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nah,
I'm
well,
impressed. You've
nothing.
thought about it, and it considers a lot of things. Yeah, I have no idea. Like, I don't know what the future. No one knows what the future holds. But I guess I would like to probably in like a year's time, a year and a half's time, in about 2 years, it would be nice to have met someone that I could then like slowly build a strong partnership, and then like a year and a half after that, we go, yeah, let's.
There you have
Let's
it,
do it.
listeners. Oh, the creepy ones. Now you know. That's your timeline. Work it right.
Oh no. Well, yeah.
It'd be great is like if when the shows restart and you're gonna see like someone just like dropping like a DHL reference here and there. We're just like, well, you know, like I would like to have children somehow, but not in the next 3 years. So it's like, how does he fucking know?
How does he know?
Yeah, now you'll know.
That's
yeah.
exactly what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I've noticed. I really do like. I've noticed that I went from, and like this whole change of like, you know, from being in a relationship with a 23-year-old and being very clear about my child desires, like wanting to be a mum desire. It sounded very pedophilic for a second.
It does. You often do though. But yeah.
It's because I work with children.
That's worse. Anyway.
But it's also changed, like,
Your work environment, sure, I imagine.
Actually,
so you don't have that job anymore, you say? Interesting.
no, I'm starting to be a nanny. Actually,
Yeah,
I've
that's
quit
terrifying for like whoever's like. I hope whoever employed you is not listening to this.
You should see my work references. All right, my kindergarten loved me, and all the families loved me.
Yeah.
Till the very end, I left there.
Till the dark times came out.
No.
till all the truth. It's just
No.
not have this restraining order, but like the rest is fine. I mean.
No, don't slander me, Gutierrez. That's not the case at all.
Okay, I'm sorry.
But yeah, like back in those days, I actually used to see people, you know, when I saw people having babies online, I would be like, it would kind of sting a little bit. And now I've got a very good friend who's pregnant, and I've got two really good friends that are pregnant, and I'm just genuinely so happy for them. And there's not a single part of me that's like, oh. So I know it's really like it's a huge shift.
So you're
in
feeling
me.
genuine joy for someone else's joy. That's a first. No. Interesting.
But what I mean is like,
you're like, no, it's great. Like my good friend is happy, and all of a sudden I don't hate them. It's great. This should be normal.
It is, but there was a period where when I'd see people with kids, and it would be a little bit like, you know, like I'd be
like,
envious.
why not me kind of
like,
thing?
I wish I was in that position. And I can see these friends of mine, and they're in good relationships, and
Sure.
like
it's normal to feel a little envy about something that you might want or you like.
Exactly.
I have that with people and like people with like steady relationships and also money. I'm just like, I am not familiar with the situation. You know?
Yeah, and like, but I don't feel any envy. I don't feel any envy right now. It's just like there's no part of me that wants that right now. Like it's not in my outlook or
it would
reality.
be a rushed thing right now.
It's impossible right now. Like
Yeah, sure.
no. So that's freeing, and I feel quite healthy in that. Also my horoscope, I like when I went through my mental breakdowns in January. I checked my horoscope, and like I stopped looking at horoscopes a long time ago, right? Like it's that basic white bitch thing, like white woman.
Wait, what is the basic? To look at horoscopes or to stop looking?
To look at them. To look. Like horoscopes, you know, like what comedian hasn't made fun of, like, you know, if he meets a girl, goes on a date with a girl and and she mentions like, what star sign are you? It's like, ugh.
I hate it.
Yeah, and it's bullshit, right?
Because it's always an assumption that they know you.
Yeah.
I also hate it when like I've been through those things where like let me guess. Wait, you're a Scorpio. You're like, nope. Oh, was it like Cancer? Nope. And then it's like on the fifth one they get like, I knew you were a Virgo. No, you didn't. You literally went through half of them. That's not a thing.
I love that.
But
I knew you were.
yeah, like, go fuck yourself.
It's like, no, you're full of shit. And look, I reckon I used to be that person for a period of time. But I used to read like descriptions of person, like more astrology as opposed to like, you know, predicting your future stuff. But I got real desperate and needed God in January. So I looked at my horoscope for 2021. I found something that seemed by some yogi online. I was like, this I can trust. Yeah. I can trust this.
If it was just some white guy, but like now that you know that it's
he's brown, yeah. I'm like, I'm in.
Sign me up. Yeah.
And this horoscope for 2021, it was for the full year. And it was like, this year, career-wise, you're going to get so many opportunities. You're going to accumulate so many new opportunities
with
for
an
making
asterisk
money.
There's just like, unless Corona keeps going for months and months. Okay, fine.
Not even.
Oh, okay.
It was like academically, socially, you know, you're going to have all of the, like, people are going to look up to you. You're going to, you know, so much room for achievement and development professionally, all of this stuff. And for in love, if you're in a relationship, it's going to move to the next level. If you're single, there's not a lot to look forward to. For real. It said, but don't let this discourage you. At the end of the year, there will be some light moments.
You know what? I would take that as a positive.
What, like that it says that I'm not going to kill myself?
Yeah. I mean, like you made it, and then like I would take it as a refreshing thing. Like once like September rolls in, I'm just like, something good's coming.
Some light
like,
moments.
Like, yeah.
Light moments. It's not even like.
Listen, at my age, this is all we have. But like, no, I think it's important to like not. So like there's a story from like it was many years ago when I was like, I think I was like 20 years old or something. My mom told me this thing about this. She went to like, my mom also doesn't believe in these things, but she went to like this card reading thing. Ooh. And like and then like she told me this, like everything that this woman said. Mm-hmm. And it was one of those like, we're all like, I was brought up atheist by this same person, you know, so like it wasn't, we don't believe in this, but she did it out of just because her friend was doing it and she did it, and then like everything became true. Yes. And it was like, there was a thing, it was like, it's one of those things. They told him a lot of details about my brother, about my sister, you know, and I remember asking him like, so what did she say about me? And then she only said one thing. By the way, I was 20 right then, you know, and she's like, oh yeah, she said when he turns 28, his life is gonna change completely. And I'm just well, way to ruin the next 8 years of my life. What the fuck? I gotta fucking like. So I have this shit in my mind, like it also, it's not positive or negative. It could be anything. So I was like thinking of just like, well, if my life is going really good by 27, I'm fucked, you know?
Yeah.
Luckily, it wasn't.
So you did everything to self-sabotage.
Yeah. Fucked it up. Like that's how I died at 27 and became a rock star. No, the thing is, like, I don't know. I was so preoccupied with that. Like, I remember how, like, I was ashamed. Like, I didn't really share it back then, you know, because I was ashamed at how, like, how much thinking I was doing on it. Like, I remember telling that to my mom years later, and she was like, you thought about that? It was like, fuck yeah, man, you ruined my fucking 20s.
That's fucking crazy. I've got a similar thing, but not like that. Okay, so firstly, this horoscope for the year of 2021 for Scorpios also said like you will not have any luck finding a solid life partner.
These horoscopes are really harsh with you.
It was really specific, yeah. But it was like financial, professional, academic, everything success. You're going to develop like crazy.
Like, unless your name is Anna Barrows, then you're fucked. And you're like, God damn it, that was personal.
Yeah.
He was like, I should stop dating the guys who write these.
I'll never learn.
Yeah.
But yeah, like there was something quite relieving about it because it was like, oh wow, I am not gonna find anyone this year.
Yep.
So there's a part of me that went, okay, like I am having a mental breakdown right now because I'm frustrated at not having anyone around me that, that I can fall in love with.
Yeah.
Okay. Then I was like, okay, well, if that's just not going to be possible for the entire year, whew, I can just stop thinking about it, you know?
Yeah.
So it was a bit relieving in one sense, and it has been. It's like, okay, that's not my that's not my focus this year. Like, as in, shouldn't be my focus anyway. But it's like,
Yeah.
just expect nothing. Like
Just
that's
having,
the baseline.
just having some external thing that reinforces your not obsession with it is important.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, just having that thing that was just like, well, you know what, I'm not gonna, because also, honestly, and I really believe that, like, if you are desperately looking for it, you're not gonna find it. Like,
But
the
the
more
thing-
chill
yeah.
you are about it, the more like, oh, I'm just doing my shit, and just like I think the bigger chances are that you will actually meet somebody who will like give you all this.
Totally. And the thing is, I haven't been obsessed about it. Like, I deleted all my dating apps. Like, that tells you how not much I have not been looking. Like, last year I had a boyfriend in May for like 6 weeks, and then I was like, no dating apps. I was really just I was focused on comedy and I wasn't looking for anything. And it was getting to, like after all those months, like nothing popping up on my radar, just nothing. And like, I wasn't seeking it, but it was just like really nothing. Like, and the people that were coming into my life were not people that were right for me.
Sure.
Yeah. And then like January, and like then me thinking that like, oh, I found this person that seems cool. Like, all right.
Yeah, sure.
And then like, I just want to be friends. So, break down after that. But, and horoscope. Okay, cool. But my mum, who also brought me up atheist, she also went to like a clairvoyant when I was a kid, and this clairvoyant, like, she recorded the like cassette tape, recorded the reading and everything, and it dominated her her outlook for quite a while. And this woman said one thing about me. Just one thing, just like the person said one thing.
Because it also it makes it so much more imminent. It's just like this, like a fucking like
this
just one thing, and I just
thing.
look into your eyes. It's like what?
It's like, what is it going to be? And mine,
Yeah.
and I don't know. I was, how old was I? I think I was 12 or 13 years. I was 12. Mm-hmm. And the one thing that she said about me was, your daughter, her hair is her crowning glory.
Yeah, and now people have seen your mustache picture.
Very good. Yes. Very good. Yeah, I'm just like, how, like, okay, if you want to be like technical here, everyone's hair is their crowning glory. Like, it's on their fucking head. Like,
Well,
of course
except
it's
for bald
crowning.
people.
Except for bald people.
Yeah.
Well,
Or,
okay.
yeah. I don't know. You know what I like? I like making fun of bald people because no one gives a fuck.
Yeah, who gives
Like,
a shit?
people are not like careful, just like, oh, you're gonna hurt his feelings. No one gives a fuck.
Well, why should
But
you
you
give
do
a fuck?
hurt their feelings.
That you do hurt their feelings,
Yeah, it's beautiful.
They're very
you
sensitive
get none
about-
of the backlash.
Well, because like most balding men are also like, most bald people are privileged men.
Probably, yeah. I mean, some are not, but like.
Yeah, some are not privileged.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
Most are men.
I'm very happy with my hair, so it's just I just flaunt it and like tell people that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think I flaunt anything. I don't know. Do I flaunt anything?
Only yourself, like very openly.
My
like
whole
a whole
self.
thing, like yeah, like as a package.
As a package.
Oh,
What else
DHL reference. Anyway,
A what DHL
Yeah.
reference? So this last date that I went on, and this guy's coming around tonight. We walked for 4 hours chatting. We had a coffee. He didn't drink, which was cool, with
Yeah,
me as
sure.
well, which was cool.
Yeah.
We had a coffee, and then we walked, and it was a cold night, and we walked for 4 hours, and the vibe was good. And it got to the point where I needed to pee.
yeah.
And he was like, well, we're actually kind of close to my place. We'll go to my place. And I was like, we can go to my place. And I was like, and then he's like, and he was really cool. Like, he
Yeah,
wasn't trying to get me there.
No, just provide a bathroom
Yeah.
option. Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's go to your place. Like, let's go right now. And
which sounds super desperate, but like it's only pee.
But you know, encouraging though.
Sure. Yeah.
And like right after we make this decision, we run into one of my exes who is transitioning into a woman, and so that wasn't awkward at all, that meeting. And then we get to
Also, because you really have to pee.
yeah, I
'Cause,
really
like, I feel
had
like
to pee.
that's one thing. Like, you don't want any kind of awkward encounters when you also need to empty your bladder, because it makes you so less patient with anything.
Right?
Yeah.
Right? Like I ran into this
Just like,
person.
it enhances the anxiety in ways that you didn't even expect. To. You're like, damn it, I need to fucking
Exactly. Like I went into like a falafel shop to ask if I could use the toilet, if I could buy something to use. They were like, no, come out. Here's my ex. And here's this date that I'm on. And at this point, I hadn't even confirmed what my date's name was. Like I hadn't done that point yet, because, you know, online, like they'll have like a different name or a shortened version. I hadn't done that. So I couldn't introduce, but also it was like my ex had just like dyed their hair and a very extreme haircut and looked kind of like a bit like they were on drugs.
Right.
And
This sounds about right.
yeah, right. And I was like, oh, and they were like, oh, hey, and I was like, hey, how you doing? And it was super awkward. And then I was like, okay, well, we're going to the toilet. Oh, and my ex was like, good luck, like looking at me with my date, and it was just like, oh my god, this is.
Yeah, I don't want that shit.
No. And so anyway, we get back to his place and make a tea, and I'm like looking at his record collection, and then we hang out, and there was his living room, but he's got 2 couches, and he sits on one, and so I sit on the other, and then we ended up chatting for another hour, and then he's like, all right, I'm gonna roll a joint, and I'm like, well, all right, I'm gonna go home.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not gonna watch you. Like, I also felt like him rolling a joint was him being like, this is over.
For more, or
it could have been gone either way, but like I made it very, like, we talked about me not smoking weed and me stopping weed.
Oh
and
yeah,
stuff.
yeah, that's another way to look at it, I guess. Yeah.
So for me, it was a bit like, oh,
But maybe he just threw it out there just like to see what happens, kind of thing. This could either be over, or this could get a little more comfy, or like she can make the choice, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's true, and I think that's where his mind was, and he didn't realize just how much I'm like, I don't want to smoke weed anymore,
sure.
Even though there's a part of me that's like.
I understand.
And so I was like, all right. And so at this point, it was midnight.
Yeah.
And I was leaving a guy's house at midnight after not getting any sex.
Yeah.
And I was like, dude, Anna, what is wrong with you? So anyway, I'm like, okay, I'm going to go. I'm not going to like watch you smoke a joint. And he was like, oh shit, I'm so sorry. I'll put it away. And I was like, no, it's cool. Like smoke a joint. I'm going to go home.
Yeah.
And he was like, okay. And so we went to the door, and he like kind of like held my hands real tight. He's like, I'd like to do this again. And I was like, yeah, cool. And hugged him goodbye and left. And I was like, I can't believe I just invested 5 hours without getting any sex.
But did you want to have sex?
I guess I didn't enough to make the move, but I've invited him.
But it's okay. Like I've been. I don't know. I think we all have been a little bit conditioned to be like, I should have sex, or like I want to have sex. It's like because it's something that feels good, if something that makes us feel like a little more attractive, or a little more.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like, there's no pressure, man. I don't need to have sex with anybody. This is fine. If I so choose to, if anything, I feel a little more powerful. I feel like just like my dick is not running my life anymore, man. It's very nice.
It's true.
Oh man, your 30s are great.
I agree.
Yeah.
I love 30s, man. Oh, so much more awareness and so much more awareness and considered decision making.
Yeah, or like it's just like, I don't need this. Like I don't need to like.
Selectivity,
and it's also knowing yourself and what you're like and what will hurt you, what won't hurt you, and what will, like, you know, just having a little more, being more pragmatic about your emotional state. That's how I like to look at it.
And how you use your time.
For sure.
Yeah. So look, let's see. Like I'm hoping, and I feel like this guy's cool enough that like if we're hanging out here and I don't want sex, that I could still, like, even though he's in my house, I'll be able, like, if that's the case.
Sure.
But I'm hoping I just like feel like it, and and then like and then we can do
wishful
it.
thinking, like, maybe I'll get horny.
I hope that I'll want to have sex with him.
I'm sure it'll be beautiful.
Thank you.
No problem, man.
Yeah, let's hope. All right, cool. Well, do you have anything you want to plug?
Well, when is this coming out?
Tomorrow.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, well, if anyone wants to check out the real show live stream, we're doing it from Space Medusa. So it's not gonna be like a normal show with like a comedian being sad in his living room. It's gonna be like we're on stage with our spotlights and our thing, but the dynamic is gonna be interesting. It's gonna be more podcasty, but like with an actual stage. We're gonna have music, we're gonna have comedy, we're gonna have a guest, and we prepared a few things more than we usually do. We usually half-ass it, and it turns out great. But we prepared a couple of things, and we've also purposely not prepared a few others to make it fun. And so yeah, check it out. It's called The Real Show. If you didn't know it, you should, because it's a great show on Space Medusa on Tuesdays. Also, if this one works, we're gonna keep doing it every Tuesday, I believe, even if things are closed. So yeah, go check out The Real Show. And yeah, like the page, come and watch the show on Tuesday. That's about that.
Awesome. The Real Show is a classic in Berlin, and now available online. That's so cool if you're not in Berlin. So yeah, check that out. Adults Only Comedy is also running an online show this week, but on Thursday.
Okay.
And but that is sad comedians in their homes.
I didn't mean to do it like that. I just don't. Yeah.
No, I didn't take it like that. I know I'm sad. It's fine. In our living rooms.
Everyone who's listening to this knows you're sad. Anyway.
Listen to that laugh. I'm not sad. Just
yeah, it does.
Just sometimes.
I know where things hide. I may have learned a thing or two in my time.
Yes, you have. So anyway, that's happening this Thursday. Check out The Real Show on Tuesday. Adult Only Comedy Berlin podcast. That has been this episode. And good night. See you next time.
Good night.